Queensland, and his name is Street. I've talked to him before. He's from OzSTOC, the Australian ST owners. Welcome to the program, mate.
Oh, thank you very much.
Now, just for the uneducated, ST, well, that's one of the models of Honda put out. Can you tell us a bit about the era that it comes from?
Well, there's two lots. There's the Honda ST 1100, which runs from sort of your early 90s into the early 2000s. And then there's the ST 1300, which runs from obviously the early 2000s after the 1100 to currently now. They're a long-distance touring bike that you find a lot of the far riders use. We've got a great little grouping with them, and they're very popular throughout Australia, America, and Europe.
It must be a labour of love, because when you're talking, bikes that are essentially a couple of decades old, obviously people are holding on to them and making sure they're roadworthy.
Yep, and it's probably one of the great things about them. I've got a 1996 1100 myself, and I've had to do next to no maintenance to it. It's one of those bikes that just keeps going. It's a bit like the old SJ 1200. They just don't stop.
Well, I understand that you've got a national rally coming up. Have you got a lot of interest for that?
Yeah, we're actually surprising up on the 13th and 14th of April this year. We've got our first ever national rally. We're having it in Blackheath, New South Wales. And we've got quite a lot of interest actually for the size group we are. We're looking at around about 40, 50 people at this stage and growing. We're now just starting to look at making sure we've got enough beds for everyone.
So you're finding the interest is from around Australia?
Yep. No, that's one of the great parts of it. We've got riders coming from Western Australia, Tasmania, Queensland, South Australia. There's even one bloke in the top of the territory who's trying to work out the logistics of coming.
Well, look, that sounds great. If you're coming to New South Wales, you get to experience some of our great roads, particularly the Bells Liner Road, mate. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, no, I've been told all that's going to be a nice ride. We've got one of our very, very loyal members, Blue Hiller, who lives in Sydney. He's spent a couple of days mapping the whole thing for us and checking out all the spots, and we're rather looking to see what he's put together for us. He's a nice man.
Oh, that sounds like it's going to be terrific. Now, I understand that your club has grown quite significantly since last time we talked. Yes,
well, when we talked originally, we had a little $30 website that we had, sort of 60 or 70 people that were cruising around on. Now we've got a fully funded website that we all put together and running the forums and information. We're just about to hit 160 odd active people. We've got rides happening in all the states. It's just going fantastically. We've got merchandise going everywhere. It's been quite humbling to see it all happening.
Now, that certainly sounds like it's been a growth spurt, mate. And what do you put this down to? Why all of a sudden is such interest in ST Hondas?
Well, a lot of it goes out to the men and women who are involved with it. We've printed our OzSTOC business cards, we've got the website running, and we promote ourselves. We have our own Facebook page, and basically, if you pull up at a service station, you see another ST, you pull your OzSTOC business card out, and you make sure you lodge it in the key lock there somewhere so they can put their hand on it.
Well, it certainly seems to have worked significantly, because we only talked at the end of last year, and your numbers have effectively doubled.
Yeah, and it's not the tyre kickers either. Where we've grown really well is that through the website, the information that's being created, it's not people carrying on. It's people talking about improvements you can do to the bikes, where you can get parts, where someone's talking about going, even camping with bikes for the first time. They just don't hesitate to lay down their experiences with how it works and how to ride long distance, short distance. They're just so supportive of anyone new.
I do often wonder when I hear about clubs that have got bikes, that have been around for a couple of decades, whether actually, when you go on a long run like this, if you actually have to allow extra time in case there's breakdowns. But it sounds like these are quite a reliable bike.
They are a very reliable bike. I can line up 40, 50 people that have the 1100s and just have so few problems. And the 1300s are very similar. It's a bit of a joke that goes along between us all. Which one's better, the 1100 or the 1300? I don't know. I know which fence I sit on, but reliability-wise, they're very good, and availability of parts when we need stuff is quite good too. Because they're such a popular bike, in Europe and America, is that there's people like Jake Wilson and I can't play someone else in my head have the gear available for us.
Look, that's really important, obviously, when you're talking of bikes of this era, that someone's still making parts for them, because obviously if they don't make them, eventually you can't ride them. So it sounds like there's a long-term future for these bikes.
Yep, no, they keep telling me I need a 1300, but my 1100 does me just fine.
Mate, if there's anyone out there who's listening who's an ST rider and they want to make contact, well, what's your website?
It's just very simple. It's just www.OzSTOC.com, OzSTOC.com. Google Australian Honda ST owners. You can find us on Facebook. You can email us at streak@ozstock.com. Heck, you can even ring me, 0428 729 106.
Now, Streak, you did mention to me that the people in your club really are the ones who are responsible for the progress that you've made.
Yep, I'd like to, from Diesel and myself, we'd like to thank everyone for the input and effort they put into helping us put this group together. There are some really helpful men and women out there who've done this for us. We're hoping to grow the numbers in all the states so that everyone can experience this. We've got really good showings in all the states. Victoria and New South Wales are a bit low at the moment, and I think that's just an awareness thing. So if you've got an ST and you want somewhere that you can hang out and just socially and have a nice time, come and look us up.
Good on you, Streak. Thanks, mate.
No worries.